Welcome to Sportex, where we talk all things relating to the ever evolving business of sport and the people that make things happen in this vibrant industry. I'm Gerard Davids, founder of TalkX TV, where we host Sportex as a content channel. And for the month of Women's Month, we are focusing and interviewing women in sports business. And today, I'm joining by Karen Smithies, OBE, who is currently the Multiply Titans team administrator and manager. Let's start off by describing to us, Karen, what is it that you do in the sports business industry, and welcome to Sportex.
Thank you very much, Harriet. I've actually been in cricket sport for quite some time. Initially, started off as a player, obviously, then a coach, and now in the administration side of things. I'm currently the team manager for both the Fidelity Titans women's team and the Momentum Multiply Titans men's team. That's what I'm busy doing right now.
And what is the typical portfolio of task presents to Karen on a daily basis?
Sure, very varied, Gerrit. Busy time of year for us as well. August, September, it's heavy pre-season for both teams. So currently, obviously, putting all the schedules together for the pre-season programs, which includes from practice to pre-season getaway team builds to practice matches. Also, obviously, busy with the clothing right now. The training clothing has been concluded. Now busy with the T20 clothing, which is the first CSA domestic competition coming up in the end of September. And that really entails, it's a collaboration initially between myself and the players who have been selected to be the fashion group, if you like, of the team. We get the design together, obviously sizes, item breakdown, all of that. But I guess the most important thing in that is that obviously the logos. So the logo placements, sizes, all have to be in the correct order. I obviously then liaise with our stakeholders, our main sponsors, to get their approval or feedback of the logo. So it's back and forth for quite some time until all's concluded, and then obviously it goes to production. So it's a busy time from that point of view, I guess. Helmets is another thing. They have to come in from the UK, so that was done a while ago. Stocking up on medical supplies for the support staff, because another part of my role is obviously servicing the support staff as well of each team. So that is obviously getting together all their equipment and making sure that they've got everything they need, basically.
Yeah, it sounds a bit of a Jill of all trades there, Karen.
And master of none, Gerrit, as they say.
Good. So, having been involved for cricket so long and now being in the position of an administrator, what is your view on how more women could be upskilled to enter the sports business center? And my following statement is anecdotal. I detect that the Titans has got probably a large percentage of women in different roles.
Yeah, very much so. We've got obviously the Fidelity Titans team, which now includes 11 contracted players, which was the inaugural professional year last year of the women's game, which is fantastic. Within that too, though, we have pay-for-play players. We have players at school, under 19s, through the age groups as well. But also, within the administrative sphere as well, we have scorers, for example, female and male, actually, both umpires as well. Our very own Charlotte Sawade is our cricket services manager based here at Supersport Park. Actually, Charlotte, when I first came over to South Africa, she was actually playing at the time. So, it's been a long journey, but she's in that managerial role now. So there's lots of opportunities, I guess, from schools to clubs to the franchise to administration, to everything within the game of cricket, from, like I say, from scorers, umpires, coaches, players, lots of opportunities out there.
Yeah, if I'm speaking under correction, the Titans also had a women's development program for administration.
Yeah, actually, we just kicked off actually a society called Ella, which is the Elise Lombard Learning Academy. Mrs. Elise Lombard was our CEO when I first started here back in 2003. She sadly passed away on Women's Day, actually, in 2012. But she led the way really for women administrators in cricket. She was the only female within South Africa to undertake that role. And in the end, she was called the Iron Lady at times, because I guess she had to really show that within the men's space that she found herself in. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I think
Yeah.
that's probably improved as time's gone on. But somebody like that who I learned incredibly amounts from, which I'm really privileged and grateful for. Is something that we're keen to keep on going, and to keep on going the legacy of what she created here. She was at Supersport Park, by the way, probably for around 30 odd years, bringing from Berea Park to Supersport Park. So her legacy will always, I guess, remain.
Okay, great. And how's that project coming along, seeing that we just launched it?
Yeah, it's taking time, I guess. We do have a breakfast, I think, coming up in a couple of weeks' time. But it's really an opportunity to get women together within any industry, actually, in any not just the sporting industry, but the corporate industry. A chance to get those women together within their roles, networking, sharing experiences, I guess. That can only improve, their journeys as well as obviously everybody else's. So,
Okay, great. Good luck on that initiative, Karen. So, looking back at your career path, what advice would you give to someone, in particular a young woman, who are thinking of entering this sector?
just the opportunities. Look, it's just from a cricket point of view, that is, and obviously netball's coming through now. We're just at the Olympics, but I think just the opportunities now that women have, and pretty much, women's sport in particular is growing immeasurably, and cricket is a perfect example of that. When I first started. My first junior England game was 1984. My first England game was 1986, but I had to pay for my own shirts. I had to pay for my own travel. My parents had to really contribute a lot towards that. We had to sell chocolate for fundraisers, that kind of thing to get money for the club. You look back now and Ravel to where it is today. To today is unbelievable. And I had the fortune of going back to the UK in 2017 to Lords for the women's final, England, India. And Lords was full, with 26,000 people in. The World Cup in Australia in 2020 had 86,000 people at the MCG.
Wow.
So to go from where we were to now is incredible. And obviously all the franchise leagues around the world popping up. The Indian WPL, the 100 that's currently going on in the UK now, the WBBL in Australia, so all these leagues are popping up, and all these leagues need administrators, umpires, scorers, players, coaches, physios, whatever the case may be. So there's lots of opportunity, and by goodness, if you're keen to get into the sporting industry, I think from a woman's point of view, I think now is the time.
And I think, Karen, that is what's needed, is to unpack and showcase the career awareness around opportunities within cricket and sport in general. If you look at the LA 2028 Olympics, 5 more sports is going to be added, and there you need more volunteers, you need more officials and the like.
No, absolutely. And sorry, I just turned off the phone there. volunteers. I think what is it, 45,000 volunteers currently at the Olympics, and doing something or being part of that is pretty fantastic. But you never know where it leads you to. you know,
Mm.
me ending up in South Africa, actually from Leicestershire in the UK, actually came through a coaching and playing gig at the University of Pretoria. Because women's cricket, they just toured England in '97. They were very much on their steps, baby steps, so to speak.
Mm.
So I saw an opportunity to come here and see what the opportunities were in South Africa then, which were very limited, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
no. Mhm.
so sorry, yeah.
Go for it.
So I thought, okay, well, let me go into coaching. So I did my level one
Mm.
and two in the UK, but I was again did my level three here. So I started off in the coaching, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But at that time, Gerrit, it was slow. The slow to move,
Mm.
the opportunities that the Northerns ladies had, as they were called then. There was one kit bag to cover all age groups. There was just no resources really that I saw at the time that could take the game much further at that stage. Schools were playing, some were not. The old theory, girls can't play cricket, was still very much in play. So hence, which is why then I moved over to the professional men's side, into the administration side of things, which I was so frightened about at the beginning because I was a player. I
Mm.
was never anybody on, as you know, you're fully aware now, Gerrit, my technology, is limited but growing.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh my goodness, well, how do I do this, and should I do it?
Yeah.
And Richard Pybus was the coach at the time, and he said, come across, and I really got into it. I enjoyed it, and one of the things that stood out for me was that my knowledge of cricket really helped me in my role as
Mm.
to where I am now.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
best.
yeah, so I think the base was set. Yeah.
No, great stuff. And so, did you have mentors uh, in the administrative side of the sport? And how do you view their importance, Karen?
Well, as aforementioned, Elise Lombard, Mrs. Elise Lombard, the late CEO of Supersport Park, obviously taught me a lot from 2003 to 2012 when she sadly passed away. I learned a hell of a lot from an admin point of view from her, and her business acumen. How she went about. I guess her business. I did learn a lot. From a playing side, Enid Bakewell, who's a legend of the women's game, actually, she inspired me, I guess, from a very young age to take up cricket and potentially see it as a career.
Mm. And would you say, especially to young women in today's environment, is to seek out mentors and make them official mentors, as opposed to be waiting for somebody to take you under their wings?
No, 100%. Even in again, sorry, I keep referring to our area environment, but we've got Laura Wolfart here as part of our playing staff. Now, Laura is only what, 25 years of age. She's regarded as one of the best batters in women's world cricket. So she, to get to where she has worked hard, but that can rub off on our youngsters that are in our squad. I want to be like Laura Wolfart. I want to be like Sine Lewis, Mignon de Priya, who have all come from the northern side of things. So to have those involved, that caliber of player and person within our setup is massive for us, I think, for the youngsters and to try and live out their ambitions.
Yeah, great. So, lastly, Karen, uh, what are the biggest trends you see emerging on the horizon that could assist with administration in sport? And here we talk like artificial intelligence, software development, app development, augmented and virtual reality, and all these things that could be thrown into the basket that could say, let's embrace it, and that it can accelerate the development and the proficiency or efficiency of sport for that matter. What are your
Mm.
views on those things, Karen?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to come into the sport without a doubt, and I was reading up about AI actually recently, and a large part of that really within the cricket sphere could be from a scouting point of view. You
Yeah.
know, all these processes, I guess. If you're keen on a player, if you see a young player, uh, you kind of get this technology to let you or assume what they will be like in 5 or 6 years' time from a
Mm,
marketing
mm,
point of view, from a
yeah.
playing point of view, from a skill point of view. So that is an interesting point. But I also think without that kind of, I think within the women's game as well, sponsors. You know, sponsors need brands need to come on board for women's sport, and I think again that is beginning to happen. Again in the UK, you see all the ladies playing the 100, all got brands and logos on the shirts. Women's soccer as well. So I think the industry then to attract the bigger brands, the big sponsors, will again only enhance the sport.
No, great. Thanks. That was Karen Smithies, OBE, who is currently the administrator and manager at cricket franchise, the Multiply Titans, based in the north of Johannesburg in Centurion. And that is where we would leave it for now. Thank you for your time and insights, Karen, which is very much appreciated. Until next time, catch you again on SportX channel, which is hosted on TalkX TV.